the URL, and I'll continue talking. You can click on it at any time. This screen will pause, and you can return here later if you want to hear what I have to say about this. First of all, we have never had anything like this in science during my lifetime. Maybe the ancients did, but they lacked the scientific equipment to know what's near and what's coming. You can't have this many objects in space near Earth without some collisions. The moon could get hit, the Earth could get hit, and Mars, Venus, or Jupiter could get hit. We saw what happened when the Shoemaker-Levy comet was pulled in by Jupiter with a force that broke it into several pieces, and the impact made splashes as large as the Earth. If anything hits the Earth and makes a splash as big as the Earth, you can put your head between your legs and kiss your sweet ass goodbye. Life is over if one of these lands on your head or near you, because all that kinetic energy will turn into heat and melt sand, turning it into glass. We've had earthquakes, volcanoes, and thousands of other facts, all till today. I knew about the Shoemaker-Levy comet, and I have felt for a long time that it was related to the arrival of Planet X, but I'm not sure if I even mentioned it, because I had so much other evidence that I missed some. And that list quickly went to 54 facts soon after it was put up on YouTube. I was planning to do a part 2 to it, but the harsh criticism from people who like to kill the messenger discouraged me, and I went into hibernation for months making no Planet X videos. I find this stuff, I share it, and if you want to kill the messenger, you can do your own research and draw your own conclusions. I think I've been very careful not to draw any conclusions, and so I said many times that I'm not sure there is a Planet X, but I do see a lot of evidence to suggest that Planet X is real, and this Thor News report on near-Earth asteroids recently discovered certainly is more evidence that something is near and it's carrying a lot of junk. Did we ever have a comet that will be perhaps up to 15 times the brightness of the moon? That's what Bruce Williams reported. And that's coming from the Nazi Nightly News, where we get all our daily propaganda. The media is state-controlled as it is in any other Nazi dictatorship, and this is what they're allowing us to know. Maybe they get some sort of thrill from leaking clues that we're all dead meat. We had first-hand testimony, would allow such testimony, but some of you crybabies don't want to die, so you flatly rejected his contribution. Why don't you die like a man and stop whining like a little kid? I didn't bring you Planet X, and this eyewitness has valuable information for you. But you're so busy whining and hitting people because you're too chicken to die that you can't think clearly. Over 1 million people have now seen that video, and it seems that all the crybabies are grown men. Today I bring you new information. It's not my information. It was offered to me by YouTube, and I rose to the bait, watched it, and found it quite interesting. Now I want you to know about it. And if you want to kill me because I shared an interesting video, get on with it. If I'm dead and Planet X is real, you're still gonna die if this debris falls to Earth and lands on your head. Pay close attention to the size of this debris, and then do the physics. I discovered that they can travel 10 kilometers per second. 5 times as fast is more than 5 times the energy, friend. The glow of that impact will give you a suntan in about 1/1,000,000th of a second. And for the next 2 minutes you will be burnt to a crispy cinder, and you're not going home. You're toast, literally. I don't even think they will find your body, if you want me to be blunt about it. No grave marker for you. 12 seconds into the video, Thor News says we have a lot of big near-Earth asteroids. Is he telling the truth? You haven't seen the video, so how would you know? Look at the evidence he presents. He's not typical of those who make wild guesses. He has them listed, and he shows the data in tables, rows, and columns. I like his clueless, if it makes you feel safer. Put your head in the sand. Then you don't have to kill the messenger. If you're a big crybaby, don't even waste your time watching this video. He has the name of each asteroid, the close approach date, the number of astronomical units listed as AU, and another number which I don't recognize. It's LD. No idea what LD means. But some of you are quite smart and experienced in astronomy. Tell us, and I'll make an annotation on the screen so others can learn from your input of scientific terminology and acronyms, and I'll give you credit for it. The scary part is he has the diameter of each, and he discusses this openly and frighteningly. He also has the velocity, and you might remember that I guessed that they might travel 2 kilometers per second, and then paper ready, because you're going to squirt like an Elmer's glue dispenser when a heavy truck runs over it. None of these asteroids is traveling 2 kilometers per second. None. Many are traveling faster than 10 kilometers per second. And if you know how to do the math to convert kinetic energy to heat, be my guest. This is one fact I don't need to know. I know that if one of the asteroids hits Earth, it's going to make a big splash when it hits the ocean. And do you know what it's going to do if it hits dense rock? It's also going to make a big splash. Because recall the first time I read that it doesn't matter if an asteroid hits the water or solid ground, and I was floored. You might think the oceans are deep, but water on the Earth is a very, very thin layer compared with the 4,000 miles to the center of the Earth. The deepest ocean trench is 27,000 feet or 29,000 feet, and a mile is 5,280 feet, so that's about 5 miles. Compare that with 4,000 miles. It's nothing. That's why it doesn't matter if the asteroid hits land or sea. If that asteroid is big enough, it's going to splash out all the water and then turn the sand on the bottom of the ocean into glass and boil all the water nearby. That's the truth. You're not going to hear it on the Nazi nightly news. Thor news maybe, he'll even call you baby. I think he means all you crybabies. You don't want to die, you want your mommy. 5 of the 13 that are visible on the screen at 15 seconds into the video are traveling over 10 kilometers per second. So if you thought I was exaggerating that some asteroids move at the rate of 10 kilometers per second, you will see his figures and know that I told the truth. My guess was 2 kilometers per second, and I read about 10 kilometers per second. And now, over 1/3 of these new asteroids are moving much swifter than I had read. I went outside last night to roll up the window shades, and the night sky was so bright that I took for about half a second, and it was burned up. I was looking slightly south. Orion is slightly south, and this was west of Orion, and the length of the streak was no larger. The distance in terms of the Orion's belt, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka, it was about 3 times that distance. The meteor, admittedly, was very, very small. Some wannabe astronomers will tell me that it was the size of a walnut. Okay, whatever. I didn't come here to argue with pseudoscientists about the size of a meteor I saw. I will concede that it was very small, okay? Are you happy? If you want to force me to accept a walnut for size, okay, I surrender. Kill me if you want to. A walnut is fine. It was the size of a walnut. Now, what size are the objects that Thor News is talking about? The first
Hello
one on
everyone,
the list is
it's JT here at
2013
X Science.
RQ43.
As you can tell, I am quite
It
upset
has a
at the
diameter.
moment because falls like
Are you
these
sitting
are
down?
all over the place.
Go sit down.
And somehow,
No, you
a
can't
lot of
stand.
people in the
We
panics
just
and
finished arguing
confusion
about the
live
size of a
in these
meteor,
things.
which lit up the sky
So today
near
I want to
Orion,
tell you two
and the
things.
pseudoscientists
First,
forced me
I
to
want you
accept
to
that
take
this
a look
meteor
at our videos
was only the
about
size
lens
of a
flares and
walnut.
camera
And now
errors,
I'm going to
both
give you the
of which
diameter
are
of an
very
asteroid,
recent, to make
which
yourself
is much
informed of
bigger.
how to
And I
distinguish
think you better sit
flaws
down for
and real
this.
objects
This is
captured
going
in the
because
sky.
you're going to squirt like a big
I
truck
seriously
ran over
mean
you
it, and I would
when I
really
tell you the
like you
size
guys
of
to
this
do that before
asteroid. A
continuing
meter
this
is about
video.
39 inches, right?
I'll put the links to
Okay, it's
those
not a
two
meter.
videos in the
Are you
description box
relieved?
of this video,
You
so
better
please
sit down.
watch them now.
How can I put this?
They are not
If
too
this
long and they are
object
very
enters
important
our
for you to
atmosphere
tell
at
whether or
night,
not I'm bringing
you
you
can
real
turn
captures
off the
of weird
lights.
objects
You
in the
won't
later
need any
part of this
lights.
video. Or
Even
not.
if it doesn't hit the Earth, it will turn night into day.
Okay,
Bruce Williams
now
says
that you are
that
equipped
ISOM
with the basic
will be up
skills
to
to tell a
15
lens flare
times
and
as
a real
bright as the
object apart,
moon.
let's go
November
to
of
these photos and
2013.
footage
A
together.
German man
Right,
said
first one.
they told
This
him
was
on the
captured
news
in this
it's
February
November
in New York
8th,
City.
2013.
So is it real or
That's a
fake?
month from today.
Think about it yourself, and
Now,
I'm
if
going
he's
to tell
wrong,
you
are you
the
going
answer
to
in the
attack
video.
me? Next time I won't share what I hear. You can do your own research.
Okay, got your answers?
Back to 2013
Well, it's real, because these other
RQ-43.
two objects next to the
If the
sun are
meteor I
both
saw was the
partially
size of
blocked
a
out of view
walnut,
by the branches.
how big is
Therefore,
this
they are a
asteroid?
real light source
It's
and not a flare.
48
Also, in case you are
meters.
wondering why
It's
no
the
branch
width
blocked
of a
out
football
parts of the
field.
sun, well, that's
48
because the
meters
sun is too bright
on the low
and these
side.
branches are too thin.
Actually, Thor News gave us
The
a
other
range,
two objects are dimmer,
110
and so only
meters is
they
on the
will
high
block
side.
out a bit.
and that's longer than
Okay,
a
next
football
one.
field.
Reals or fake?
Where do you want it,
Answers
land or
in a
sea?
few seconds.
It's traveling very slowly, so relax. Only 7.45
Yes, this one is also real.
kilometers per second.
You can see the second sun is
Phoenix
blocked
to
out
Tucson
of
is
sight
about
by the
140
clouds in
miles.
front of it.
I think
Again,
you
our sun
multiply by
doesn't seem to be
1.6
blocked,
to
but
get
this is
kilometers.
only because of its
What's
intense
that, about
brightness, and it is
224
actually blocked a
kilometers?
bit because you can see
It
the top
takes me
part of
3
it
hours
is
to
a bit
drive that
flatter than the
distance.
bottom parts.
This asteroid would
That's
do
because
that
what we
distance
see on the top
in
is
30
not the real
seconds.
sun, but
I
only
don't
its
want
bright
rocks
light
the size of a
flaring
football
through
field
the
coming
clouds.
at me
But
at
the second, smaller
7.45
and
kilometers
not
per
as
second.
bright object's
That's too
top part
fast.
is blocked
There's
out
too much
completely
energy
by the same
in
cloud.
RQ-43. I think I'm
How
not
about this
going to
photo
work
here?
on that day. I'm
Okay,
going to hide
so
under
this
the
is
blankets
quite a
and cry
similar
out for
case
my mommy,
compared to the
like you
photo in the
crybabies
beginning
do.
of this video.
I think rocks
You can
as big
see
as
a
a
beam
football
of
field
lens
should be
flare,
banned.
not only in the
The
sky but
Nazis
also
should regulate
before
them
the
to death
rocky
like they
bright
do all
ground.
of our businesses.
If I were the channel
you
that I
with
allude to
Obamacare.
in the beginning, I would
70%
tell
of
you
us
that
didn't
we are
want a
having
government
9
takeover
weird
of healthcare,
planetary objects
and now that it's
visible
law,
and aligning in the sky,
85% of us are
ignoring the
opposed.
fact that a 5
But the
years
Nazis
old
don't
can
care
tell
what you
those are
people
land
want.
flares.
They want
The
to get us
moral
all
of the story
chipped, and
again
that's their
is
agenda.
don't believe
Maybe one of
everything
these
that you
rocks
guys see
will
or
land on
hear
the
on
White
the
House
internet.
and get rid of this puppet, and we can start over with a new rigged constitution.
Here's another
It gives
photo of
people too
lens
many
flare
rights
that can
and
be
ties
made
the
up into a
hands of
system
an
of 7
oppressive
planets
government.
aligning.
And nobody wants
Please,
that.
though flares,
People want
these
slavery
little
and
ones
dictatorship.
might be more
Now
solid,
pick one
but
before
they
I
are
pull
still
the
nothing
trigger.
than flares.
You know, if there was a God,
In case you don't know,
you would
planets
think that he
do
would
not
drop one
shine.
of these asteroids
They
on the bad
reflect
guys
lights,
who want
and therefore
nuclear
when the sun
war
is that
over a
bright,
country
they
that is no
simply
threat to
cannot be
us.
visible.
But there
Especially
isn't any God.
if they
How
appear
could there
that
be a
small.
God? All you people are waiting for God to save you
Here
from
are
the
some
burning
more
building,
difficult
the
cases.
flood, or
These
this
4
asteroid
photos.
the size of a football
Now let's go
field
through
that
them
can
from
travel
top left and
140
follow a
miles in
clockwise
30
direction.
seconds. God isn't coming,
The first one
and the
might seem
asteroid
convincing
has a
because
better
both
chance of
suns
landing
are
on the good
partially
people of
blocked
this
out by the
country
clouds.
than on any
But
of the bad guys.
if you investigate
If one of
closely,
these
you can see
asteroids
that the
falls
block
to
made
Earth,
by
it
the
will be
clouds as well
devastating.
as the lights and flares
saw a
around the
video on
Susans are
YouTube.
exactly the
A
same.
young man was
Even the
abducted
sides
by
are the
aliens
same.
who warned him
This is a
that an
cause
asteroid is going to
impossible
strike
in
the
reality.
Earth around
So this
the
is a very
Caribbean
good
islands,
Photoshop product
and they
that
came
we are
to
looking
warn
at,
us
guys.
through him.
So again,
Let's
be very
kill the
careful
aliens
when
for
it comes to
delivering
these
bad
topics.
news, shall we?
That's
All
the
the
second one.
crybabies want to insult this poor
This
guy
one
for
is
being
a real
abducted and
capture
receiving
because
this
you can
warning
see a
of an
bit of of the
impact
bottom
by an
part of the
asteroid.
sun is blocked
I'm
out of
sure
view.
of one thing. If an
And the third
asteroid
one
hits
is
the Earth,
only lens flare
even if
because
it's
it
only
is
the size of a
transparent
football
and it
field,
appears in front of the
if
grassy
it's traveling
background
at
and
300
not blocked
miles
out
per
at all.
hour,